isolation, depression, going stir crazy, fighting the elements. But enough about my personal life. Let's talk about The Lighthouse. So The Lighthouse is from 2019, a film by Robert Eggers. It's his second film. He did a previous film called The Witch, which is also brilliant. This film, The Lighthouse, stars Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, two guys who are stuck on a rock as lighthouse wickies. One's the apprentice, Robert Pattinson, and one is the old sea captain, Willem Dafoe. Essentially, they lose their minds after they get stranded there for longer than they had expected, and they end up dying. And that's pretty much it. Now, you could describe Castaway in the same way, or other films where there's basically a simple plot, but a simple plot doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be moving. And this film is moving. The cinematography is amazing, the pace is amazing, the tension is great, the artistic elements are ones that leave you guessing, like, what does that mean? There's got to be symbolism here, which of course there are tons of reviews about the symbolism here and about references to Greek mythology and things like that. But it's an amazing film. A couple of the things that I think make it special, besides the acting, is fucking tremendous. But in addition to that, you're pulled in right away by the sounds. Mark Corvin scored this film. He scored Eggers' first film, The Witch, too. And I don't know if he had anything to do with the sounds themselves, like the I used to do that like the whole time. But I don't know if he had anything to do with that, probably. But the sounds are such a big contributor to the mood and the mysticism of this film, just like they were in The Witch, which he also scored. So that's an amazing thing to note. There are a couple technical elements, like it's filmed in black and white, and the aspect ratio is kind of unique. It's 1.9 to 1, which means that I think that the sides you don't see, so it's almost like you just see the middle strip. It's a very interesting perspective to have. And, going back to the thing about the minimalist character setting, Castaway, I was talking with a good friend, I was watching Castaway, and I was captivated the whole time. I was late going to wherever I was going because I wanted to watch it. And in Castaway there are more than one character or two characters at the beginning and the end, but the most of the film is like Tom Hanks on an island. So the fact that you can make that interesting it's a testament to everything, not just the acting, but the writing, the vision, the director, everything, the way it's shot, the symbolism in there that we all ponder and that people make podcasts about. Those are all there. Brilliant film. It's a masterpiece. One of the things that irritates me about what I do also is that it takes me now 2 or 3 viewings to watch it, to come around to a film that's great. I don't know why. It happens with so many films for me. It happened with Parasite as well in 2019. But this film in particular, I remember seeing it with a great friend in old Portland, Oregon, and Laurelhurst Theater. Then you go to Holman's for a drink afterwards. That's what you do. Don't try to steal that method, by the way. It's taken. And I'm not, she can tell me this for sure, but I kind of remember me seeing The Lighthouse and going, oh, I guess it was okay. What was I thinking? What the hell is wrong with me? So I want to do this review because I watched it, because I knew that it was going to blow me away, because I know how I am. And I watched it last night, and it did, of course. So, of course, there are all kinds of theories about what this film means and the symbolism behind it. That it's a power struggle, that it's a Greek mythology about, greed, or maybe there's even a little bit of Macbeth in there, where Robert Pattinson's character, Winslow, or Tommy, whatever his name was, wants that light, wants that precious ring, that king crown, the king's crown, the queen's crown, so bad that they're willing to murder for it, which he does. And maybe there's a bit of that in there. I think that's Macbeth. I don't know. I'm not up to date on my Shakespeare abilities. So there's that, the power struggle, that it's a purgatory of some sort. I kind of, this might surprise you, I don't know, but I kind of watched this film and kind of relaxed all of those thoughts, like the symbolic gestures. I did have a thought for a second that this could be sort of a metaphor for humanity in the universe. You've got two characters representing humanity. They're on this lighthouse rock, which is Earth. You know, that's what we're on, folks. We're on a space rock spinning through the cosmos. Right now we're turning. Can anybody feel it? Can you feel the turning? How can we sleep when our beds are turning? But you know, you've got the humanity on the rock, isolated, and the universe all around it. We don't know if there's anybody coming. We don't know if there's anybody out there. We don't know if aliens are here. We don't know what's going on. So I thought it could be something like that. And we, of course, we go, as we're doing, go stir crazy and end up tearing ourselves apart, which apparently seems to be happening. So it could be that. But I think there's something comforting in the ambiguity of it. I mean, there's such interesting moments here that, you know, because we don't know if he's hallucinating either character, if they're the same person, and we don't know why things are happening in a certain way, or we don't know what this light is in the lighthouse that they admire so much. But on, you know, from certain perspectives, who fucking cares? You either like it or you don't. You're pulled in right away, and you stay that way through the whole thing. And there are times where you think, like, that's fucking crazy. What just happened here? What does this mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, of course. But I think it's just the story of a guy, of people, one guy, two guys, whatever it is, who are isolated for too long, see COVID-19, or The Shining, who become obsessed with this idea that gets them through the day, or maybe is like their secret little mystical their little mystical secret, I should say, that they have in their back pocket, something that keeps them going through the day. Maybe it's religion, maybe it's God, maybe it's it's like in the Pulp Fiction when they try to get that briefcase for, I think it's Marcellus Wallace or somebody, and they open it up and you just see the bright light and Tim Roth, his eyes kind of glow, but we never get to see what's in the briefcase. We never get to see what's in the lighthouse either, and I think that's okay. Let me read you something that Robert Eggers said about this very point. He said, if we've succeeded in our efforts, the ambiguity should be keeping you engaged as an audience. I think that's right. And let me, before I read you a quote from an artist that I think is really relevant to this idea of finding symbolism in things or trying to know, we always got to know. Let me read you what Willem Dafoe said about this light, because that's one of the big things at the end where Robert Pattinson kind of gets killed by the light because he didn't really achieve its love, you know. He took it through murder. And this is what Willem Dafoe had to say about the light. It's a moment of mystical love for this thing that cannot be explained. He's toasting to his love because he's a believer, and that is what he has dedicated his life to. That's the simple explanation. When you're looking at the light, you're communing with something that's not human, that's beyond human, that's eternal. Robert Pattinson also added, I think in the script there was a mention that the light, was so pleasurable that it becomes absolutely terrifying. So, what is this thing? Who fucking knows? And it's okay, I think, not to know. I mean, we can go through all the Lighthouse review videos on here or ideas, and they're all fun. They should all be listened to, and I love searching through them and reading them and listening to them. It's great. But sometimes it's okay not to know. And last week I came across, I've been watching these Tate shorts, like Tate Britain, Tate museums in Britain. They're doing like these Tate shorts with different artists. And I came across one artist who was kind of doing things in a minimalistic way. And she said something great that I think applies here. They were talking about one of her black paintings that she did. She just painted the whole canvas black. Kind of like the Ad Reinhardt paintings, if you know those, the Black series. I don't know what they're called. But it's kind of like a deep, rich black covering the canvas. And in that regard, she said this about knowing and ambiguity and all that. And her, by the way, her name is, I'm going to butcher this. Her name is Shirazeh Hoshieri. I'm so sorry, I butchered that. But these are the brilliant words that I had to write down when I heard this. You see space, you see infinity. And what I'm trying to say is how difficult it is for us to perceive the nature of reality. We always think we know, and my work is a protest against knowing. Beautiful words. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Subscribe. Click below. Just subscribe. Like this. Share this. But subscribe. It's a big one. Got to get some more subscribers here. If you like these videos, I'll put them up every Friday. Maybe I'll put up more. Maybe I'll do a Pop Culture Tuesdays edition. I don't know. Maybe I'll add an extra one in. But I need your subscription. I need your support. Thank you for watching this. You can follow me everywhere at Pop Culture Fridays. Sorry, Culture Fridays on Twitter, at Pop Culture Fridays on Instagram, and the site is thisiswhereyouare.com. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.